Now, this is podcast number 2. Now, thanks for joining me. Okay, in this podcast, I'm just going to talk about 4950cc motorcycles and scooters. For everyone who's just recently started out and got their new motorcycle, fair play to you, good luck and ride safe. And believe me, you're going to have great fun. Just make sure you get all the right protective gear. Sometimes when you add all this up, sometimes it can actually cost more than the actual bike itself, but it's something well worth getting. Anyway, so what do you plan on doing on your scooter or your moped? Well, my suggestion to you is get out there and just do it, because you are the upcoming riders for the future. Because eventually you're going to upgrade your bike, get a bigger machine once you've passed your test and done everything. But meanwhile, if you're a student and you've got some holidays or whatever holidays you've got, take advantage of that and get your backpack on. Put your tent on the back of the old scooter or under the seat, wherever it fits, and just do it. Get out there and start touring. You can keep away from motorways, you can keep away from the dual carriageways. Just set your route out and you'll be amazed what you can do and see on these little machines. Now, in the late 70s, early 80s, when I was starting out, I didn't actually do any touring at all on my scooter. For the main reason is you're not watching it and looking at it on YouTube to get ideas. So you kind of just do whatever you're doing locally, whether it's coming backwards and forwards to work or college or just riding around town with your friends and meeting up. But there's so much opportunities out there. You've got Google Maps to search, and you've got so many different websites that you can plan your campsites and your routes along the way. And if you've got someone old enough to actually drive, you might know someone with a van who could actually put 2 or 3 scooters in the back of a van and take you to a lovely part of the country, which is probably a few hours away from where you live, to set up your base camp and then come and go every day to see something new. And if the person with the van can hang around, probably you could camp in the van, do a bit of a wild camp or whatever. You've got so many options. But live your life, get out there, the scooters and the mopeds to the best of your abilities. You will learn and see so much. Now, going back in my days, as I said, we just scooted around the town and the city and what have you, and done whatever the local lads were actually doing out there. Don't get me wrong, we had fun, and at the time I was actually living in London, so you can imagine the streets of London, we were seeing something new every day, which I've actually said in my last podcast, and it's something you never forget. You will never ever forget. But because the towns and the cities now are getting so busy, it is a great option to get out there and see a bit of the old country life. You've got the Lake District, you've got the Pennines, you've got up North Yorkshire, you've got Snowdonian. If you're in Scotland, you've got fantastic rides up in Scotland, and also in North and South Wales, down in Devon and Cornwall. There is so much out there for you guys and girls to do. Take advantage of it. Get your bike serviced, get it checked out, because when you're starting out, you probably don't know too much about these machines. So get everything checked out. If it's a thing that you can't get transport by putting these things in the back of a van or a trailer and going off, make sure you've got breakdown cover that you can get the machine back home. You will have a whale of a time. You can buy lightweight tents, what pack up very, very small. And something what I've actually got now, I've got myself a hammock. I've not used it too much, but I've found when you look at a hammock, you think, oh my God, you're going to sleep like a banana. But actually you don't, because you don't actually sleep end to end. You kind of sleep at an angle. And I find that once you get the knack of it, sleeping in a hammock is fantastic. It takes up very, very little space. You can nearly put it in your jacket pocket. That's how small they pack up. And you can put the lining in one pocket and the other. They're incredible because there's no poles or nothing. There's no excuse there. You can strap them anywhere on the bike and they will not get in the way. As long as you do it safely, nothing gets caught in the wheels. Where would I go if I was living in London, say? Right, if I was living in London, I would go up towards Norfolk direction, or I'd probably get someone to get a trailer or a van and go further afield up to the Midlands, over to the East Coast. There's some lovely places up there. And if you're living in the Midlands already, then go further north or go right out west. These bikes, you get plenty of mileage, so you're not going to do massive speeds. And the roads you'll be travelling on, you're going to come across little villages, towns, and service stations. So you can stop for your snacks and your dinners and top up fuel and do your little check. Great experience, something well worth doing and well recommended. Checks and what have you. If I could turn back the clock, I don't think I'd ever get rid of me small bike. I would have actually kept it in the shed and restored it and done something with it. I don't know how many bikes I've actually had. I can tell you now, the best fun I've had is definitely on a small bike. You see more. You see so much more. When you've got a bigger bike, you've got more to handle, more to hold. The expense grows on you. Everything is more expensive and you're going faster. So you've got to keep your eye on that road more so. But with a little scooter, you're going to have times that you're just going to plod along and you're going to be there on your own. And you can pull in extremely quick into gateways of fields and what have you, and stop and have a coffee or a snack and take photographs or do videos if you're a YouTuber or whatever. Great opportunities out there. Well worth thinking about, guys. If you've got the 49cc, just do it. Thanks, guys. Until next time, we'll talk to you again.